Gotta be a little. Oh, look what you did. Oh,
We did.
We live.
We live and we caught Kayla talking at the same time.
Yeah, you did. Yo,
How dare you?
Nah, but welcome to the wrestling's past and future and all other fun jazz we're going to be talking about. We're going to be joined later by the big man, Nate the effing Great will be here. Everybody knows we all love that teddy bear.
Better.
And we're also sponsored by PK Valor's dog right here.
The mighty Athena.
Oh,
pretty dog.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
she keeps the
PK,
mansion safe.
So PK, we're going to start this off. I know that you went to the AEW Forbidden show in United Center, right?
Yes, I did. Forbidden Door. You know, for being my first AEW live show going to see, I kind of went into it with a little bit of low expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I actually really enjoyed myself. It was great getting to see Okada and Tanahashi live finally. Match of the night, definitely Will Ospreay and freshly squeezed OC. I don't really care for Orange Cassidy, but damn, did they bring the house down for their match. Let's see here. We had the New Japan Dojo. It was supposed to be a 4-on-4 tag team, but
right.
As I'm sure a lot of people have seen on TikTok, Danhausen kind of made an appearance, but not like a Titantron style appearance with a nice little custom entry theme for the Ass Boys, which led to it being just Billy and I'm drawing a blank on the other guy versus the Dojo, and somehow the 4-on-2, the two-man team ended up beating the Dojo, which I think was kind of a bad call for AEW to do. They should have had the New Japan Dojo guys win that one just because of the sheer numbers. Then we had I'm not going to go into the whole details because some matches stuck out a hell of a lot better than others. Like, for instance, overall, the Fatal 4-Way match for the IWGP title, it was a really good match. The ending, again, as I'm sure people have noticed and seen on TikTok or on YouTube, somebody screwed the pooch on the ending. Cole didn't get hit with a full Rainmaker from Okada, but he still sold it like he did. And that was how the guy ended up getting the pin after he took out Okada. Good match, underwhelming finish. There was two Fatal 4-Way matches. The other one was for the All Atlantic title, basically the Intercontinental title or European title for AEW. And I believe this is a new belt that they just brought in. It was Pac, Miro. Oh, Christ, I'm forgetting the guy's name from New Japan, and Malachi Black. Second favorite match for the night. They had something Connors. Craig Connors, I want to say it was, or something like that from New Japan Pro. Good match. It looked like it was going to end up being squashed on Craig's part, on Connors. And they ended up giving Connors some of the actual better highlight spots. Malachi Black set a table up outside the ring. Looked like it was between him and Miro to go through it. Miro ended up going through it, but it wasn't Malachi that put him through it. It was Connors friggin' speared him. And then, unfortunately, the downside with the table spot for that one is it was an oversold table spot to where Miro was essentially down for about 6-7 minutes of the match. The winner of that match and the inaugural All Atlantic champion for AEW is the Bastard Pac, which that was a pretty damn good match. He ended up beating the Connors guy, hits him with whatever they call the red arrow now, and then puts him in the rings of Saturn for a tap-out victory. All in all, that match, fast-paced, action-based match. We had Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and I don't know what the other guys. Some of the guys from New Japan, I'm drawing blanks on the names because I don't get to watch them very often. Versus Eddie Kingston and his team to see who's got the advantage. Either pick the stipulations or the match advantage, something like that, for Blood and Guts, which is tonight. Unfortunately, Jericho's team, and well, not unfortunately, it kind of makes sense. Jericho's team wins that with that shitty ass the Judas. There was a real nice triple submission spot in there, which surprisingly Jericho didn't do the walls.
What the fuck, Ozzy?
Yeah, you would have thought Jericho would have gone. He ended up hitting a nice code breaker for a 2 count. The match was actually fairly decent. I don't really care for Eddie Kingston too much. I look at Eddie Kingston and I just see a guy who just got an attitude. He'd rather just sit there and throw shit at people. And there's the teddy bear.
What's up, everybody?
Airplanes and stiff dicks.
There's Nate the effing great.
Oh, I thought that we were talking about Mayo earlier. Or is that conversation past now?
Well,
for the time being, we're not talking about Mayo.
Well, I could tell you this much. This show is sponsored by Courtney's Mayo. Courtney, if you're listening, it's sponsored by your Mayo.
Oh, shit. Let me disappear. Inside joke, guys.
We are going to violate so many terms and conditions by sponsoring this by Courtney's Mayo.
But actually, there's 2 spots in that Forbidden pay-per-view that I liked. There was one point where the Young Bucks did the double super kick to Sting, and Sting no-sold it, which I thought was perfect.
Here's the funny thing about that part, though, Kev. Mm-hmm. TikTok doesn't show this, but after Sting does the whole the chest beat, the woo, and everything, and then double clotheslines, he takes 2 steps, collapses.
Oh,
he took 2 steps and just went down, and the entire crowd was just like, the double clothesline, boom. What the fuck?
So
that's funny you put that up there.
So we got Remington in the comment section saying it's also brought to you by Tony Khan's cocaine samples.
That's all right. Somebody's got to be able to run AEW without sleep.
That is true. That is very
And
true.
I did love the debut of Cesaro on there. I thought that
No. Get it right.
Yeah.
He went back to his name from Ring of Honor in the Indies, not Idios.
Idiots.
The Idiot scene. He is now referred to as Claudio Castagnoli. And oh my God, I think that fits so much better than Cesaro. I don't know why.
He's like Claudio.
Honestly, the start of his match was really great. I was expecting it to be just one of those come in, he just it looked, and that's just because I don't really care too much for Zack Sabre Jr. Don't get me wrong, though. I changed a little bit of my mind on that one after watching that match. Mm-hmm. Because the 2 of them had a knockdown, drag-out brawl of a fight. And I'm impressed. I was really impressed by that one because I was expecting when that music hit, basically the arena and everything turned out how it did, and he came running down to the ring. Me and the people that I was with were like, oh my God, it's going to be a squash. Because as soon as he gets in, he hits him with the gotch. And then all of a sudden, it's like, holy crap, it's already going to be over. Which in hindsight, it would have been nice if they'd have done that one because the show started at 6 o'clock and I didn't get the hell out of there till 11:30.
Well, it has to feel like a real pay-per-view if you're feeling like, oh, I got to go home, I got to get some sleep and shit like that.
I got no sleep. I woke up the next day, 4 hours later, my eye was going twitch.
Okay, so to correct that, most people go home and go to sleep. Unless your name is PK Valor, you don't need sleep.
No, I tried to sleep. I could not. My alarm went off at 5 a.m. still.
Body rejects the sleep.
You can hear and see me now, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, sorry. I just had a kid bang my door down. I was like, whoa, hold on.
It was the
It's all
kid.
good.
It was Chucky.
It was my little Chucky. How'd you know?
Lucky guess.
A horse of Freddy Krueger. It's so smart, oh bitch.
In prime time.
Ew.
The main event should have been a hell of a lot better than it was too. It was Tanahashi and Mox had the opportunity. The way that they made it play like they were actually leading this story up to be. Is it ha? I just got blocked by him on Twitter.
Oh, by Moxley? Or...
No, by Russo.
By Vince Russo.
Oh, well, that's more of a gift for you, then.
Oh my
That makes 3 now. I've got Russo, Ryback, and Jericho that are blocking me on Twitter.
Only one out of 3 is a crime. The other 2, who cares?
To a degree, I don't care about any of the 3 of them. Russo's views are kind of outdated, just like as much as I like listening to him rant and rave. Some of Cornette's. Speaking of Cornette, people that he's high on, FTR won the tag team titles. So now they are the Ring of Honor and I believe the IWGP tag team champions.
And I think they're also still the AAA ones.
I don't believe though. I don't believe they are.
I thought they brought them back, but never mind.
St. Courtney Peterson's in the
It's
chat.
I'm definitely
girl.
I definitely see why people are getting out that viewpoint on Dax too. Dax was if they ever decide to break up FTR, Dax has got one hell of a singles career coming for him.
Damn.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Since we're going to go around the corner here, I'm going to ask you guys this. This one's a really good thing because no one's really known our stories of why we've all gotten into pro wrestling. So I'm going to start with you, Nate the effing great. What got you into pro wrestling in the first place? So what's your story?
So honestly, it's a weird story, and it's one that I will continue to tell to the end of time, and it's one that people will laugh at. I got into the business because Nick Dinsmore played his Eugene character in 2004, and that's what really got me hooked on. People thought it was controversial. People thought it was offensive. I didn't think of it. It was a just simple-minded character. It was a simpleton, if you will, and he was just looking like he was having fun. He wasn't like buff or muscular. He wasn't like fast-paced. He was just one of those people that made you think, you know, if this guy could do it, I think I could do this. And then after that, you do get exposed to a lot of the people like, the Jerichos, the Edges, the Eddie Guerreros, and everybody else along the way. And that's kind of what hooked me on, was that it was the characters in wrestling that really kind of got me involved. And then some of the storylines really got me involved. Wrestling is definitely like an add bonus. If it's a great wrestling matchup, woo, sign me up for that. But it's the stories and the characters that really get me initially invested into it. And the Nick Dinsmore character was the one that got me hooked on first. I would have said The Rock, but honestly, I only saw him one time in 2001, and then I didn't watch wrestling until 2004.
You're a late bloomer.
I am a late boomer, but what else?
So what about you, Queen of Madness?
Oh shit! I came out wrestling out the womb. I'm kidding.
Wow.
That's gross. You just check yourself with that woman.
I'm just imagining you just.
But I remember being like, yay high. I know that wasn't so but
That was just nasty.
How high? Yay! How high is yay high?
Yay high is like little, but I know I'm little, so I tried to make it littler.
I was gonna say,
But
anybody who knows you,
I remember being like 6, hopping off the couch at all my mom's friends like I was a wrestler, because that was back when DX was the cool shit, throwing poop all over Vince McMahon and Right now, I love Cock on the screen, and then you had the Brothers of Destruction and shit going on. Like, I remember all the Undertaker entrances. I think that's what really hooked me, was that dead guy. Dead man. Then you had the Hardy Boys flipping off of fucking 30-foot ladders and shit. Like,
I wonder why Jeff Hardy got DUIs now.
He's a crazy driver. It's all right.
You know, it's funny, when you said the phrase that I came out of the womb wrestling, I'm just imagining you being born and then just putting the doctor in a headlock.
Oh, you know it. My mama, too.
Baby's first headlock.
She knew. She knew I was going to be a wrestler.
So what about you, PK? What got you?
I've been a fan pretty much as long as I can remember. It's probably about 91 through about 3-4 years old. My first real introduction to watching anything was back when we had the traditional Survivor Series. I'd get videos like that with my dad on VHS and watch them. And I always and call it childhood, Nate. God damn it. How am I going to say it? Basically being naive as a child. Naivety, I think it is. Because I didn't know how shitty of a person behind the scenes Jake Roberts was. Didn't know he had the drug and alcohol problem he did, but damn it, was that snake a badass thing to see. And just
yeah, it was.
Damien all over.
Long live Damien.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So between watching him, watching a little bit of Ricky Steamboat always made me happy. And then of course you got you got Madness, Macho Man.
You all went to macho voices.
That's about all I can do. Maybe the ooh yeah. I can't do the rest of it because it hurts.
You gotta get with the mayo, you know.
Snap into a Mayo Slim Jim. Ooh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Mine's up, guys. Can't do macho.
Since you guys did y'all story, I can tell y'all mine. It started as a little kid. I was at my grandmother's house, and she let me watch USWA wrestling, which is Memphis wrestling. Got a chance to watch the whole Jerry Lawler, Andy Kaufman stuff.
Oh, shit.
That's what got me started. But then I heard the story that my mom's dad, my grandfather, took my uncles to a wrestling show and almost got into a fight with a Japanese wrestler called Johto.
Which one?
I think his name's Johto. Johto, or I have to look at his name again, but it's like
You
some
say
kind of
Johto?
I heard Johto, like the Pokemon.
Yeah. So, but what really got it was when we were at the
Hey, there's my girl. There's my girl, Queen of the Ring. There's my guardian. She's hell yeah!
What's up, Queen of the Ring? Hey.
There's my ex-wife's new best friend.
So we figured out who she was now.
We have no idea who she is still. I have no idea.
Well, no.
Don't know who she is, but what matters is that she's awesome.
And she likes you, Nate.
But what really did it? We were at the Missile Auditorium.
I'm not gonna lie. I read that well, hello there, and fucking straight up Ewan McGregor to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there.
Hello there. Hello there. No, but we actually.
Awesome.
I was at the Missile Auditorium. My brother was supposed to be watching me, and so was my uncle. But my uncle was drinking, wasn't watching me. So I started wandering around. So the cops and my brother are looking for me. I'm walking around, not knowing where I'm at. I bump into this big old huge leg, and I looked up, and Hulk Hogan's looking at me, going, "Hey, little dude." And I was just like, I'm like, I didn't even care that my brother and my cops found me. I was like, oh. But I grew up with that whole wrestling too that you guys talked about. And by the way, about the Damien Snake, I like when Jake turned heel and he was facing the Macho Man, and they had the part where he had the King Cobra bite Macho Man's arm. Like, you don't see that anymore. That's just really. And I was scared of the Undertaker as a kid. Man, when he was talking in that casket, I didn't sleep for a couple days.
Undertaker was a scary man.
So then when they did,
Tombstone was gonna fuck you up.
so then when Taker came back, the next year, we went to a house show. Undertaker did that whole boom, and I was like, oh, "Fuck, man, I'm not messing with Taker." So we're talking about the PG era that we got now compared to the PG era back in the 80s and the early 90s. I'm going to ask you, PK, what made it seem so believable back in the day with the PG era compared to now?
I think to me, what made it seem like it was more believable is promos didn't seem like they were so scripted. Wrestlers were allowed to kind of go out there and say what was on their mind to a degree. They were usually, especially this was real prevalent and huge in the Attitude Era versus the PG era, even like late 80s, early even 90s, is the wrestlers were allowed to go out there and kind of just be them, give bullet points, but hit these main focuses. Now
it's all flip.
Now all their promos seem to be all scripted out, and these wrestlers they're not allowed to be them. They have to be whatever creative wants this character to be the whole time. And it just kind of, to me, it ruins the luster of what is pro wrestling. Because now to me, it seems like they're just they don't want pro wrestlers. They just want people that are actors that don't have a problem going out there and possibly getting hurt. And it's heartbreaking because you've got guys that are legitimately really great athletes still, both in the professional wrestling setting and they were athletes prior to this. Like, for instance, you've got probably right now the top two that I think number one right now for promo is Pat McAfee, who was a former professional athlete who would know how to be able to handle himself in there without being seriously injured. And then you have Riddle, who, while I don't really care too much for his promo skills, is a former MMA UFC fighter. So he knows what the hell he's doing. Yeah, maybe work with him on his promos, but let him be him. We all know he's a fucking pothead. We knew Rob Van Dam was too. And what did WWE tell Rob Van Dam? Hey, just don't make it so obvious.
Oh.
And in the 80s, early 90s, you got guys that are cutting promos, going out there, throwing their personal, basically doxing themselves, what we call doxing nowadays, throwing their entire personal information out there. Here's my address. You don't like what I've got to say? Show up on my doorstep and bring it. It's like, now you can't even, if you even dreamt of trying to do that one, holy shit, what's the matter with you?
And, if Kev, I could take over for what PK was kind of go off. I think I really base this kind of like the same way that we've done movies in the past. Like, when something was PG, it meant it was something like, you probably don't want kids to really see this now. But nowadays, PG is just kind of like, just one of those things where it's like, it's just going to have a little bit more of the dirtier humor, but not much. Like, some people can look at something that's like general audiences. Like, I'll use a Disney reference, Great Mouse Detective, as one of them. Pretty sure that was a G, even though that could have been a really legit PG, maybe PG-13 movie nowadays, because it gets so dark and so meta so fast in so many points. But I think it does have to do with the fact that it goes with what Valor was saying, with times change so much, and it feels like there's so much fluff that is being put into wrestling right now, whether it is scripted or whether it's the fact that they're trying to only do like so much time on some of these matches, which, hey, that's fine. But when you're doing it on a consistent basis, it gets annoying real fast. And hey, we're going to see the same two people wrestle for the same 3 times in a month. Yeah, that's going to put butts in the seats. There's only so many times where you can handle. That was one of the issues we had for a long time. We had Randy Orton versus John Cena at least 20 or 12 times in so many different pay-per-views, and we got sick of it. And then finally, it's like John Cena versus Sheamus. Okay, at least it's different. At least it's something. So they have, despite the fact that they've literally shot themselves in the foot with all the releases that they've done, they have so much star power that they could be using. Honestly, when I was watching SmackDown this a few weeks ago, and Roman was just like, there is no one that could be. I'm like, okay, so who could it possibly be? Maybe you could do Walter, maybe Ricochet comes out, something like that. But no, they went right back to the square one. Back in the day, they didn't always go back to square one. They tried creating more stars. And I think that's where they're struggling right now, is that instead of taking a chance on some of these stars, which funny enough, they did that with Riddle. Hey, smile on you for putting that match on SmackDown. It was a banger. Not a surprise, but it should have been on pay-per-view. They go back to square one, which was just Roman and Brock. Why? Beats the crap out of me.
Yeah, because I sure as hell don't want to see Roman and Brock again.
But it's last man standing. It's new.
And that's nothing against Roman or Brock as individuals. It's like exactly like you said, Nate. When you've seen the same thing multiple times, whether it be John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H, The Undertaker, Stone Cold and The Rock, now we got Roman and Brock, or even Goldberg and Brock. It just don't care.
So what about you? What about you, Kayla?
Now that being hold on, just really quick. I want to say this one though, really quick. That being said, Gunther, I think we need to work on him a little bit before we start putting him into a main event, because when you've got him working as a monster heel, and you've got not Brock, Roman as the monster heel, it's really difficult to do that heel versus heel style match. Because you want to hate both people, and you don't want to see two guys that you completely, utterly hate fighting it out, because it's like, well, shoot, now I have to cheer for one of them, but I hate both of these guys. But somebody's got to win. That's why a babyface versus babyface match is so much easier for anybody to pull off than anything else. So, to answer Courtney's question really quick, too, before we get to go to Kayla, inconsistency in storylines. It doesn't matter if you go from anything on a YouTube basis to all the way up to WWE. When you change a storyline at the drop of a hat because it's not getting the reaction that you want, so you just drop it and pretend it never happened, is the biggest pet peeve in the world to me.
All you got to do is follow the algorithm.
I agree with that.
No, actually, answering Courtney's question, yeah, the problem with wrestling in YouTube or pro is you don't have a lot of stars. And the problem with AEW is that Tony Khan's opening up his checkbook to all these ex-WWE guys. And I'm sitting there like, what about building a big star? Because you don't see those, you don't have a big mega star anymore. And much as we all can say what we want about John Cena, he was a mega star. Whether you like him or not. Hogan was a mega star. Rock's a mega star. Stone Cold's a mega star. We don't have those mega stars anymore. So that's probably one of the reasons why pro wrestling and YouTube wrestling, but YouTube wrestling, when you have the same exact people going over and over and over again, pushing the right people.
It's because AEW even does that with Dark on their YouTube. Now, I think Tony's getting a little bit better about that. I mean, he is trying to build. And to me, what I see when I look at Tony Khan is I see somebody who was a fan of wrestling, not a businessman, come into having a professional wrestling company. And I think he's still riding that 2-3 year high of being that mega fan and owning his own wrestling company more so than he is worried about running it to the greatest ability it could. Now, I don't think he's running it like shit, but I definitely think that he could run some of it better. I could say the same thing about WWE with Vince McMahon. I don't think all of it's necessarily being run like shit, but he could definitely do better.
What about you, Kayla? What do you think about like the PG era, and what do you think is wrong with pro wrestling, like today, like on YouTube and today?
I don't know. Like before, it seemed so fluent and real, and now you can see everybody like bend their knees and ready for the jump before the jump, and just it's just so predictable in so many ways now.
What's funny is me and Mel can watch a wrestling show now, and back then when I showed her old clips, she's like, "That actually looked like it connected."
Well,
now
the thing is that, like, back, I mean, I used to watch wrestling.
Look at fucking Mankind, man.
Watch it with you and everything, and I enjoyed it back in the day. Now it's just like you can tell the camera angles are too close to the wrestlers, and you can tell when they're not connecting with each other, and it's bad, and it's just like
I fully agree with Mel on that one.
I mean, I used to love watching it with him. I really did, and I stopped watching it probably 4 years ago.
About the same.
Mhm.
I mean, I used to watch it with him all the time. We used to go to the pay-per-views. There would be like, we've been to at least 2 or 3 pay-per-views together. And, we used to watch it over at the bars and such. And it was fun to watch. But now it's like the same shit, different day scenario. And we just like, come on. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole with what I'm about to say, but I'm really surprised that WWE is even still in business, to be honest with you. Because some of the wrestlers that they have on there, it's not necessarily their fault. It's the way that their storylines are written for them.
Yeah. Agreed.
So.
And if we're talking about the 80s part, for me, I think what makes PG back then more realistic is that the wrestlers then were more larger than life. They were more realistic. They were more the promo, like PK was saying, the promos, they were able to speak freely.
Yeah.
And they were able to do what they needed to do. I mean, yeah, they were some of their promos, they looked like they were high on cocaine. But we all know that back then wrestlers partied hard. They wrestled two nights.
They wrestled harder.
They wrestled hard, they party harder. So now it's like what the Undertaker said on Joe Rogan's show. He said the wrestlers back then used to go out and have fun. The wrestlers nowadays are back in their hotel rooms playing Call of Duty.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that too. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that, yeah.
Because it's kind of like who who was it that said something? It was one of the AEW guys, I think, that said something. Maybe not even AEW. Maybe it was a WWE guy, but he basically counteracted back at the Undertaker with that one and said, "Well, how many of your friends have passed away because of drugs or everything? None of our friends are passing away because we're sitting in the back playing video games instead of doing lines of coke or shooting up." I mean, yeah, he kind of went with a little bit of a low blow, but at the same time, he's not far from the facts. Look how many wrestlers from the 80s, look how many from the freaking Attitude Era have passed away from drugs and alcohol. Hell, you got Ray Traylor passed away, Big Boss Man. You got little Crash Holly, Kurt, Mr. Perfect. He passed because of drugs. All of these guys, a lot of these guys died before they were in their 50s.
Yeah.
And it was because they did that party hard. I'm not at all surprised. I wouldn't be at all surprised if in the next few years, even though they've gotten clean, if we don't hear about some kind of health scare issue with either Sean or Marty.
No.
And I say that, Kayla, only because Sean and Marty, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty have openly expressed
any of the other ones.
Have openly expressed how much they used to go out and do blow.
I want to fight him right now.
Which one, Marty or Sean?
I think you.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to see it because I always liked Marty more than Sean. But Marty was the bigger partier still. Sean was just the asshole after he became a singles guy.
You want to talk about wrestlers passing away? I know SummerSlam is going to be here in Nashville in July, but they're having StarCast 5 here. I remember I was telling Nate a little bit about some of the people that are coming. And they're going to have Ric Flair's last match at the Municipal Auditorium run by Jim Crockett Promotions. I just hope to God he doesn't die in that ring.
If something happens, hopefully Kyoto can get him revived.
You know what? He's doing what he loves. He's gonna go out with a bang.
Dies, he'll be dying with doing what he loves. So.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I never was a big Ric Flair fan.
Neither was I.
But I have full respect for that dude. Like he's wrestled them all and trained them and got him on board. Like he was like one of the icons.
He's at a point though, Kayla, where when you got a pacemaker or I think it's a pacemaker.
He wants a fucking suplex, man.
Yeah, one suplex, one slam could fuck that thing up, and we could watch. Literally, there could be hundreds or dozens, or if they have pay-per-view for it, people that buy the pay-per-view just to see Rick, potentially upwards thousands to millions, whatever. Watch Ric Flair potentially die right in the ring.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it wouldn't be as sad as the situation like with Owen, but it's not one that we want to watch.
Right.
I was almost thinking about going to the show just because if it is Ric Flair's last,
it potentially could be his last match and his last day on this planet if something goes wrong.
I think Nate would agree, though. Ric Flair's best promo, TNA, him and Jay Lethal going back and forth with the whole woo woo. And Jay Lethal actually said that he asked Rick, he's like, "What do you want to do out there?" He's like, "Whatever you want to do, kid."
There's a line where he just like does his, limousine ride, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, who can make any woman cry in this building, even that fat one, and make her cry. That line.
I mean, you're never ever gonna be able to do a chop and not be like, woo.
Pretty much.
You can't even go to a wrestling show. You can go to a wrestling show before it even starts, and the crowd's already going, woo!
They are. Like, it's built in there now. Like,
then you got the nice lovely chants when people screw up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
And the whole what?
And then you'd be looking at these little kids screaming next to their parents with them.
Honestly, no, that one drives me crazy.
That
one actually irritates the hell out of me now.
Well, it kind of irritated
the what chant? What?
It kind of irritated me too because when I was doing ring announcing this past weekend, there was one guy that was actually doing the what chant because I had technical issues with the microphone that I was using. It kept cutting in and out. But funny thing was that one of the biggest heels of that entire night, it worked for him perfectly. Everybody else, it just kept cutting in and out. So he was just like, "Oh, sorry, dude, I don't know why it worked for me." I'm like, "I wonder why it worked for you. Like you didn't pay off anybody, you bastard." No, the guy was cool. He's just one of those things where he's a heel. It's great. But I think also fan interaction is something we could definitely agree has changed immensely from back in the day to now. I mean, back in the day, of course, there was only like one company, and then there was just, what the hell is going on with you, Valor? One minute I just see you with glasses, and the next I don't. It's like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus, it's like the Fiend, only the party Fiend.
Now he's gonna go back in mode.
But back in the day, we didn't care about all like the backstage drama and stuff like that. We just were just like, hey, here's our people in the ring. We're focused on that, and then we let them live on their lives. Nowadays, we have so many different things where you have stories of people stalking wrestlers or threatening to kill them or jumping the barricade and thinking like, oh, I'm going to party with him because he seems cool. Yeah, that's a smart idea, you smart ass.
Like what happened to Sonya Deville?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking. Every time I see Sonya, I think to myself, wow, she's totally out of my league, obviously because she likes women, but also because of the fact that I always think about that moment where she literally had somebody stalk her, and I'm just like, I feel sorry for her because she didn't deserve that. She hasn't done anything to deserve that. There's a lot of other people that have deserved that as well, and it gets to be so toxic now because now you have those fans that are just like, are you an AEW guy? Like, kind of like WWE. You are deserving to be burned at the stake. It's like, Why? Can I just enjoy a little bit of everything? No, you have to like this. And
You have to
like
choose one and only one. I'm like,
there's only the one.
Yeah.
Because we're bloodline, brother.
And the funny thing is these are the same people that are. It's individuals in our age group. That what did we do on Monday nights when one went to commercial? We flipped the station to the other one.
I got VHSs to prove it.
For me, and how my channels were set up, I think they might have been about the same. They might or should be the same for Kayla if she's got cable. You had USA Network was our channel 29, TNT was our channel 30. Back and forth, up, down, up, down. Hey, it's a commercial. Okay, channel 30. Oh, channel 30 is commercial. Back to 29. That one's probably going to come back first. And you swapped back and forth, waiting to see which one came back, and you'd stay there till the next commercial break. Or
you have your VHS recording or VCR recording in one.
I did have that for SmackDown when I was younger because I could only get the I think it was like either the late nights showing of SmackDown. So I literally had to program my VCR to go like at 1 o'clock.
Record from this time to this time, please.
Exactly. And
I'm lame. I had a soap opera and wrestling. Like, I'm an awful, awful TV person. At Days of Our Lives.
So you had the soap opera and then the action soap opera.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not gonna let Caleb be the only one here. Hey, I was watching General Hospitals back then, so okay,
I still do.
You guys took all my characters.
I still do.
He loves drama.
Y and R. Y and R.
There you go.
Oh, fabric people, yay.
Watch, why in the R is a baby.
But, scary thing is, on the days when you're home, you had PIR.
And then you had Maury. That was our other soap.
You had Maury, PIR, Jerry Springer, and then the soap operas. Because there were no freaking cartoons on at that time for our age group. It was all Nick Jr. crap during the day.
I was over Jerry Springer real quick. So like, there was this fucking guy on there. Little
hell yes, I heard that name. Or, Kev.
But yeah, fuck the Jerry Springer show. And then they made him a judge. Like, what? You guys know that, right? I was sitting in a bar. I was like, why the fuck?
Like, he's an actual, like,
why is he in a judge thing?
He's now Judge
Speaking of
Jerry.
what Nate was saying about fans attacking wrestlers, I was at a WCW event where this guy came into the ring and he tried to attack Macho Man.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I think I remember that.
Macho Man beat the hell out of this dude.
Fuck him.
Then there was one time when I was wrestling at an indie show, a guy tried to get into the ring. What did I do? I beat the fuck out of that guy. I just threw him right out of the ring. Beat him up and then threw him. Or choked him.
Pretty much.
Do you remember the video where somebody was going to attack Stone Cold, but Triple H literally just like majorly suplexed him?
I was going to say, he like straight up German suplexed the guy.
It was awesome. It's one of those things like, yes, awesome moment, but at the same time, they should show don't mess with the wrestler because they actually know how to fight. And you may hurt yourself, but you have no one to blame but yourself.
Well, shoot, not even necessarily that, but I mean, think about, yeah, just because we would open up our fist when we throw a punch instead of like boxing where you keep that hand closed.
Right.
If you've got a guy whose bicep is the size of your thigh because you're the average Joe and you don't live in the gym, do you really think it's a wise idea to run up there and be like, I'm going to get in your face and give him your face to get punched? Like, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. I'm
going to start a conspiracy theory right now that I think anybody who has challenged Scott Steiner has not survived, and Scott Steiner just has like a piece
except the English language and mathematics.
Speaking of Scott Steiner, I was at the second to last WCW pay-per-view, the Super Brawl he had with Kevin Nash, and I had this Bring Back Hulk Hogan poster, right? Steiner basically yelled every little profanity at me, then ripped my poster off and then spit on it. And I was like, bravo. Now, hey, Kayla, did you watch WCW a lot back then?
I did.
Now, would you be a? Were you a fan of like Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, or no?
Yeah, I was. I like the Steiner brothers, so I can't.
She loves the promo where he's just like, "You should have took a cab and fixed that money to fix your crooked yellow teeth." That's the only promo you need.
Yeah, he was fucking hilarious. I liked him, and then I liked the little thing that he wore on his fucking head. That thing was cool.
The chainmail coif.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody else wear that before, so I thought
You
that
know how
was
heavy
unique
that
and
thing
just
is?
cool. I bet. I would not want to accidentally fucking fuck anything up with that.
They weigh like 25 to 30 pounds if they're made with like the proper materials.
There was one time he came out to the ring and he had a fucking tiger with him, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, if Steiner couldn't be even more crazier,
He was the original Tiger King.
Exactly.
No, that's still Siegfried and Roy.
Ah, damn it, you're right.
Now, if there's certain
Well, that dude's arms are like, pow. He was like, come here, pussycat.
There's certain wrestlers in this world that I would have never messed with back then. I would have never tried to cross paths with Chris Benoit in the ring.
Oh, I love him.
I wouldn't even know.
All the bullshit and whatever people think or say. That was one of my favorites.
Hashtag team hung to dry.
And I don't think I would have. I don't know. I mean, like, would I jump over the ring? If someone paid me enough, I would jump over the ring and try to attack Brock. But I know I'd get my ass kicked afterwards. But
I wouldn't attack him. I would bet that same person. It's like, no, I'm not going to go in there and try to attack him. I'm going to run up to him and give him a hug and see what the hell he does. See if he breaks character or if he just throws me over the top of him like a belly to belly suplex.
if he's that cowboy Brock, he might try to slow dance with you first, and then
see if we got a do-si-do, then I guess I'll learn how to square dance.
Well, I mean, he did.
Just as long
I
as
to
somebody
know how
makes
to square dance.
just as long as somebody makes sure to play Cotton Eye Joe for me.
Yes.
Now-
Oh my gosh.
now, if we could cast a dream match, and if he's watching, I know he's going to be watching, Superstar Xavier Michaels.
Bitch.
If we were to cast any person from past to present,
Be nice. I want him someday.
if past to present,
MCW. You.
And I'll whoop his ass in that ring,
And
too.
Josh too.
Wow, the egos are flowing in this room tonight.
The testosterone is just feeling inside.
Wow.
Let the hate
Big
flow
heart,
through
guys.
you.
All right.
you know the power lies right here. No, but if you could actually, if y'all can cast, I'm gonna start with you, Nate. If you could put him against anybody from past and present, who would be a perfect opponent for Xavier Michaels?
So I got
Courtney.
two thoughts. Yes, I don't
You
know.
pissed her off and you fucked him up.
So
He'd lay down and say, sit down.
Yeah, he would. I would too.
So there are two lines of thought when it comes to Superstar. There's a line of thought where it's like, well, he could be a really good heel, so maybe it would be cool to have him face another great heel or a really good baby face. Or there's just somebody I'd love to see him just get the absolute crap beat out of him, because I had to clean up after his confetti deal this past weekend. So there's a part of me that wants to see him just literally get just destroyed. So if I was to go down that path of him getting destroyed, I would love to see him get beat up by one of the local guys here, a guy by the name of Sadist. Dude is massively huge. His finishing move is the spear, and he looks like an absolute monster. He is somebody that I would just be like, yes, I'd want this guy in my corner every single time. But going down the path of, somebody who I think would be, just really good, and they would kind of complement each other. Honestly, I think Mr. Perfect would be an interesting opponent for him. I would kind of like to just see him, Mr. Perfect, do, his perfect deal, and then Superstar literally just try to be this
That'd be interesting.
I
or have
would.
the Godfather come out with the whole train.
There'd be a tag team in that case.
Hey,
That'd be nice.
now if we're talking about the Godfather, quit talking about somebody that we know in Chicago or in Illinois.
Say what?
She would definitely be a part of the whole train.
Are you talking about Kate?
No.
He said Chicago.
Here, like that.
Chicago.
He said
No.
Chicago, so no.
I heard Chicago, so
Oh,
I got family in Chicago. They're cool. I don't know who you're talking about.
I was talking shit. I'm a shit talker.
Now PK, if
We
you
talk shit. I talk
now
shit.
if you could cast superstar,
Okay. Anyways,
who would you put him against?
Obviously, I owe him big time.
I know you do.
So eventually, I'm gonna get my revenge for that one. But if we're gonna go down these rabbit holes, I'd like to kind of see like a little bit of gimmick versus gimmick here, and I'd stick him with either Gorgeous George.
she's in Rockford.
Not that Gorgeous George.
I think Jay would take that bet.
I was gonna say I can't think of any straight guy that wouldn't take that one. Or adorable Adrian Adonis.
Those are not bad, yeah.
But as it goes for babyface versus heel, with Superstar being the heel, I'd probably stick him with a Ricky Steamboat, somebody along those lines. I'd like to see Ricky and Superstar. I think they could have had a hell of a match.
I'd stick him with someone really ugly like the Boogeyman.
Hey, I love the Boogeyman.
Believe it or not, Caleb, believe it or not, you take all that makeup off and he actually puts his, I call it a bit, since he's legit. Actually, no, he's not even missing the teeth. Are we talking about Boogie? He's actually got a hell of a, I've met Boogie. He's actually got a full mouth of teeth. He doesn't have the missing teeth. What they did was they just used special effects makeup and shit for that. Really? And the dude's actually not bad looking. He's like, if you look at him, it's just like, God damn. Like, he reminds me of a little bit older Keith David. If anybody knows who Keith David is.
You would never be able to eat worms around him, like the gummy worms. I'd be afraid.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that startup is that was the compromise. He was going to go more extreme, and they said no.
Aw.
Like, what? Because they didn't want people like worms. You could kind of get away with because it
could have been Fear Factor Wrestling.
That essentially got for Fear Factor on steroids with some of the shit he wanted to do.
No, Fear Factor Wrestling is getting through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, unless it was this past week. Then that's the only time it wouldn't go into effect. Any other time, it's like, rematches? No!
Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan? No!
Be nice. Those two are gems. Come on. I love Liv.
Well, I mean,
cubic zirconia is still considered a gem, but it's still garbage.
Shit.
That was good. I will admit that. That's good.
Ooh, we got a stalker, guys.
Seeing Courtney Peterson stalking us.
At least you know the stuff.
Hey, Courtney. Hey, Courtney, if we ever come to Colorado, we're taking your mayo from you.
It puts the mayo on the
Skin or else it gets the hose again.
See,
you guys rehearsed that.
No, I just came up with that on my own. He decided to go in with it.
Now, here's a good one for you guys. Now, Kayla, we'll start with you. If you can have a dream match with a man wrestler and a female wrestler, who would you go after?
Well, I would have to roll around with Sean.
That's
and
hey, to be fair, you probably would give him a better retirement than his actual retirement match. So.
Yeah, buddy. And then I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between like Trish Stratus and Gail Kim on the female.
I'm bad
because I like Gail.
Gail's one that you don't hear about every day.
No, I like her a lot. So
what about you, PK?
What are they again? Male and female?
Yeah.
Dream match for male would probably have to actually be wrestling against Ricky's prime, Ricky Steamboat. I honestly don't know who I would want to wrestle. Probably Beth Phoenix for female because I feel like she's one that
It
would.
fuck you up.
Yeah, and I'd be completely okay with that
Me
because
too.
it would also be a lot more believable for. And I don't think I'd get hurt like if I tried to wrestle like a Nia Jax.
That's fair. That is fair.
Nothing against Nia.
Of course.
You can't hurt that many people and not catch flack.
Because she is not like most girls.
So about you, Nate?
Definitely not Nia Jax, but for a male, I definitely would love to have a couple rounds with Prime CM Punk. I probably would say like even Ring of Honor CM Punk would probably be my go-to for that. As far as female goes, I'm still kind of hung up on Rosemary just because I like her character work. I like what she does in the ring. I think that her, and Decay was like one of the best factions that TNA had produced in quite some time. So yeah, honestly, between those two, really, really hard to pass up an opportunity with those two.
You're lame.
Everyone's favorite alien is kind of a second for
that.
Okay. You know what? Fine. I'll play to the.
What about Queen of Madness?
No.
Don't you tempt me. But I will say this: if we were gonna go like back in time to like the good old days, I think in all honesty, if I were to go like back in time, like WCW, WWF era kind of deal, I think honestly Stone Cold Steve Austin would be one I'd love to at least have some good promo deals with. And then I'd also just want to face Sable just to say that I could have pinned Sable in like 5 seconds. Because we know she can't wrestle worth a shit.
Definitely not.
Yeah, you don't want to tell Brock Lesnar that.
He'll suplex the shit out of you. He will suplex the shit out of you.
Hey, I got hit by a semi truck. I think I can handle Brock Lesnar. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty goddamn.
Here's how I look at that one. If you get that pissed off, it's got to be true because the things that piss us off the most are the things that are usually closest to fact.
So if I was to be in a dream match with the,
I'd also take Chris Statlander.
Well, I mean, like, I'm gonna say this in a nice way because I'm getting brownie points for this. I already had my dream match with Mel, so I mean that female.
Oh, quit being such a butt kisser.
No. As far as the men go, I would love to have a real good. There's the two guys in particular. I would love to have a good one with Kurt Angle back in TNA.
Ooh, that's not good one.
So Perk Angle.
Yeah. Kurt Angle. And then I would love to have a match with The Undertaker because I would if he came up to me, I'd be like, dude, it would be an honor to take a tombstone from you. No problem whatsoever.
Amen.
But as far as the females, as far as the females go, I kind of like what PK said. You have to have someone that would have a lot of power and force behind it. Beth would be one. Jordan Grace from Impact.
He knows that I can beat the shit out of him.
That was the first time we seen her face in the whole thing.
I've seen
proof. Somebody go buy her a cantaloupe or watermelon.
No, but I think if a good female was just because I like to. I had a good time facing high flyers back in the day, so I wouldn't even mind being in the ring with Lita. Having her fly around and trying to catch her.
I wasn't a big Lita fan.
Really?
What's wrong with you?
I loved the Hardy Boys. I was not a Lita fan.
So Queen of the Ring asked, when can
I didn't not like her. Like, she had some hellacious matches. Like, I don't know.
So when sooner rather than later.
She would be more my style, you would think, so I should like her, but I don't.
So question for you, Kayla, as Queen of the Ring asks, when can we look forward to seeing NCW in the ring, maybe?
Maybe as early as next week. Who knows? We're training every day. I want to make sure it's perfect before I put anything out there. So, but I'm working on buying a ring.
You'll never really fully be perfect at everything. You're always going to be learning something new.
That is definitely true. But I don't want to look like a flock of fucking chickens flopping around either.
And you don't want to
Well, a
look.
flop of mayo dicks does not look good on camera.
You don't want to look like a bunch of like,
only if Courtney's in there.
You don't want to look like a bunch of Vince cocks out there and just
Vince
and
Cox.
be touched with that one. So,
Like, I want them to get the feel of the ring first before I'm like, oh, let's just record what happens and we can redo this spot 1,000 times. No, we can't redo that spot 1,000 times. We're gonna go, done.
Amen.
So
that's how it should be done.
I'm not redoing shit. You guys want to redo? You know where to go.
I'll tell you a dream match I would. And if you're listening, Jay, I would love to promote PK Valor versus Superstar Xavier Michaels. I would referee that shit for free. I'm serious.
Yeah, I refed the first time going, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it.
You did not ref our first match.
Did I not?
No.
Huh. Oh, that's right, because it got erased from his existence. That's right.
Him and I had a couple of matches.
Yeah, you did. Never mind.
We had 2 or 3. I know at least 2.
I didn't get the rest. Yeah, I did. I lied.
I didn't get to do this. Oh, yeah, I did.
Whoops. That was a great match. I took a fucking uppercut like a beast.
I'm gonna ask you this one. I'm gonna start with Nate on this one. Do you think that the internet itself, like social media, do you think social media is what's killing pro wrestling?
Yes.
Yes and no, because it makes the availability for wrestling. Sorry, I know I'm not Nate the effing great, but I also heard Mel's response back there, and I have to agree with.
Right.
I have to agree
I'm
with
waiting
it
for her to
because
pop in again. Like
it makes the availability. It killed social media kills kayfabe.
Yes.
Social media, the internet, the news, everything is killed. Wrestling period.
And the
it's still a lot
paparazzi
of things.
potential paparazzi kills kayfabe too, because back in the day you'd never see heels interacting with the baby faces. They were always separate. Heels never brought their girl or their wife to the shows too, or if they did, they damn sure didn't make it known that that's who they were with, because it would be dangerous for the wives and girlfriends to be known. Nowadays, it's like, oh, you're the biggest heel in the business. That's your husband? High five, hell yeah! Everybody wants to be best friends because they think they can then go and rub elbows, and it kills kind of the illusion of what is pro wrestling.
No, I definitely do agree with that. On the the communication parts and getting the chance to talk with other people, that is a positive to it. Getting to reach out to some of the wrestlers and get them in contact to wrestle with you or wrestle for you. That's another great aspect of it. But I do agree with Valor on this, that there's so much toxicity when it comes down to it that it really does hurt so much of the business. And like we were saying before, there's so many people out there that are saying, oh, you got to be team A or team B. You can't be in between because there is no option. It's like, I just love all wrestling. So why can't I just have like everything? And if you don't like that, then, I know how to block and I'll have no regrets about it. So
Agreed.
I know what I like. I know what I don't like, and I have my opinions. Everybody has an opinion, and I think it's like Road Dogg says, it's like everybody has an opinion, just like they have an asshole, and they're all shit.
Honestly, honestly, I agree with y'all guys both. The one thing though is when and I've seen it on TikTok. Like they have the wrestling people on TikTok now talking about what people should like, what they shouldn't like, and I'm sitting there thinking, look. The wrestling content we got now is kind of like you go to a food place, you look at all these drinks you can order. You like Sprite, you like Dr. Pepper, you like Pepsi, you like Coke, but you can't choose just which one you like the best. So
Yeah.
it's
Can I have Jack with a side of water?
side of water. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the dirt sheets have definitely killed professional wrestling, especially when in 2015.
Yeah, fuck you, Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, and you know, I remember when we all know the Royal Rumble where they were all booing Roman Reigns, even The Rock came out and they still booed. But they had to announce the fact that Dwayne Johnson was in Philadelphia for it. So it already made it seem like, well, shit, we know he's going to be there now. So it's like, I like when we still can have that illusion. And it would have made it even better when Cody debuted at WrestleMania. But if they never would have announced that he was going to WWE, and just would have had him shown up, that would have been even more powerful.
AEW did that perfect. Nobody knew for certain that the formerly known as Cesaro was going to be at Forbidden Door. People had speculated, but there was nothing set in stone. No announcement that he was in Chicago. So that's why if you watch the highlights for it, you get to hear the pop that he got. Because while people may have suspected, nobody was 100% certain.
I have to give Jericho credit because there was one time when he came back to WWE and they asked him, "Are you coming back to WWE?" He said no. And then he posted on Twitter a photo of him in Florida laying on the beach. And then he showed up on Raw and people were like, "What the? Huh?" I'm like, the illusion playing with someone with that, it's good. Now, Kayla, I will tell you this much. You know that Shawn Michaels has he lives in Florida now, so he's not too far from you now.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind what she's doing on camera. So she's like, yeah.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid.
Hey, you know what you should do, Nate, is when you do one of your like MZW promos, you should like find a picture of Shawn Michaels and rip it up.
You better not.
You better not.
Oh man.
I remember being a teenager and he had this one picture with him laying down with a belt across his junk. That was a
Oh,
great-
so you're
the infamous Playgirl.
Playgirl magazine. Oh shit.
We're going down to that road.
I'll tell you what though, I wish that Shawn would have never done that. I wish Shawn would have never done that crown jewel thing, but I really wanted him to face AJ Styles. That one I was hoping he would have came out of retirement.
I like AJ a lot. Like, that dude's a beast. I don't like what they make him do sometimes, but he's a beast.
I mean, you also talk about how AJ has actually evolved from, his humble beginnings in like WCW independent scenes to where he is now. He's seen every single bit of every part of wrestling, whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's seen how the internet has affected it. He's seen how everything does. If there's anybody that definitely deserves a lot of credit, it is indeed him. Jeez Louise. I mean,
he's phenomenal.
For a reason.
Yeah. He had to deal with Dixie Carter and Vince Russo.
God. Twice. I'm pretty sure.
You actually like these guys.
He had to deal with Russo twice. Yeah, WCW and TNA.
Oh, shit.
I never told you this, Nate, but there was one time me and Mel went to this boxing gym downtown.
It wasn't a boxing gym.
But it
was an actual fitness center.
And a fitness center, but they had a boxing thing in there. And it was close to where the TNA offices was at. Corporate offices at. So while I'm on a treadmill running, in front of me is Dixie Carter, and she had the entire Impact Wrestling script, reading it on there, and I'm like,
well, she
wasn't reading it. If she was reading it, that place wouldn't have become trash.
There's no proof that that's actually what it was.
But she had a big old book.
Definitely reading something.
Big old giant book.
Because I was there too.
Now I will say this:
to read Vince Russo's memoirs.
I will say this much though:
Scribblings of the New York Jackoff.
When Dixie Carter got put through the table by Bully Ray, I cheered.
Everybody cheered.
Everybody cheered.
Awesome. I mean, granted, she probably could have done it where she didn't break her back, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, you asked for it, you got it, you reap what you sow.
You know what would have been a really good fantasy tag team match Kayla and Insane Courtney Peterson versus the Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young.
What about me? You think I'm shit?
No.
It's fine. It's been 15 fucking years. It's all good.
You really went with Fabulous Mute.
Moolah in her prime was
Moolah
one
in her
of the
prime.
most popular wrestlers out there.
Oh
Same
no,
with Mae.
she was a beast. She was funny. But I just picture her as the old lady coming out.
I don't know.
What you talking about? Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard, but Trish Stratus is talking about wanting to do another match again.
Oh, it could be against me.
I might end up fighting you for Kayla. I'm just saying.
She's got her eyes set on. She's got her eyes set on Becky Lynch. She wanted Sasha.
No, I don't
She-
like
she-
the man.
She wanted her eyes. Well, she wanted Sasha Banks, but you know how that went.
I like Sasha Banks a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. He's all right.
No, I really didn't care for her or Naomi.
Yeah,
Well.
I agree.
I didn't
Nothing
understand
against the
the whole glow thing, but
You didn't understand the what?
When
she had her little glow
Glow
thing
stuff.
going on, and she was like,
Feel the glow.
She was doing that even when they had the what was it?
the Funkadactyls.
No, the Bella Twins.
Oh, yeah,
Or no, what was it? The that show that the
All
Total
the
Divas.
Divas.
Total Divas or whatever. She was even going for it during that point. The whole glow thing, pterodactyls and all that crap. I never
What?
really care for Naomi.
Well, we can also thank her for the nice glowing championship belt that she had during her second reign. So,
Man, I'm glad I missed that.
I'm still trying. When I was looking at some old Tough Enough clips, I went back to the one that Stone Cold was hosting.
Oh,
And I
Christ, no!
oh, I know where you're going with this.
Remember when that girl came up?
Cameron?
Yeah, and that girl came up and told her, "Well, my favorite match was this." His face.
What was it, like Alicia Fox and somebody on a Monday Night Raw? Like, not even an important match. It was a blow-up match.
Yeah, it was like Fox versus Eve or something like that. I don't even remember.
I think so.
and that's like when people.
Which, I mean, at
wanna
the
talk
same
about
time-
wrestling.
At the same time, I guess it can't. That was her favorite match of all time, but that's not. It's not like Stone Cold had said, "What is the greatest match of all time?" Now, if that would have been the answer, if that would have been the answer that Cameron had gave for that,
Let me tell you something, son. You think that that's the best match of all time? Just gives her a stunner and just says, "Get the hell out of here."
I want to tell you what. You come into my ring saying that stupid crap to me. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to look in your beady eyes and whoop your ass.
because I mean,
He needs about 5 water.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite matches is one of the dumbest matches that WWE ever had.
Oh, let me guess. Is it Big Boss Man versus Al Snow in the Kennel of Hell match?
No, but that's up there on
Hell
ridiculous. That match had a really good premise idea. If they would have had dogs that would have actually cooperated instead of just taking a shit and fucking on camera.
Fair.
What?
That who said what? Was that Kayla or Mel?
That was me.
That was-
Oh, thanks.
That was my wet face.
There was a match. The match that Nate is referencing, Big Boss Man versus Al Snow. The whole idea behind it was a kennel from hell. It was a cage match inside a Hell in a Cell.
Hey, man. Come pick
And
this
the
up.
storyline leading up to this was Big Boss Man had abducted, killed, and basically gutted, skinned, cooked Al Snow's little Chihuahua Pepper and made him eat it. So Al Snow's revenge for this was a Kennel from Hell match with what was supposed to be rabid dogs around the ring, preventing you from getting from one ring or from the ring to outside the cage to win. The dogs decided they'd rather be friendly with each other instead of, attack. But so the match premise, the idea for the match was a great idea. I think just when you're working with animals, it's not trustworthy all the time because it's too much. There's way too much of a potential liability. If you actually have a dog that would be rabid, you have to worry about not only the handlers but the fans and then the wrestlers. So But no, my favorite match, which to me is also one of the dumbest matches of all times, is the WLC.
Oh, okay.
Because you had Mini Michael Cole, Mini JBL, you had Torito, El Torito, you had Swoggle. Basically everything except for 3MB and El Los Matadores was miniature.
Snacked on all my damn cookies.
So, I mean, and it was
Yeah, my
ridiculous,
fucking
but it was
cookies,
fun as
Daddy.
hell to watch.
I know it was you.
But I know it's not the greatest match of all time.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
I mean,
So do you think that wrestling nowadays should go back
you
to
made
have,
two.
like those like jobber
you
guys like
grown.
Barry Horowitz?
Guys like Barry Horowitz are what made wrestlers in the early mid 90s. When you had those guys that didn't really like, even at one point in time, X-Pac as the before he was the 1-2-3 kid, when he was just the kid, he was a jobber. And then he got in good with guys like Triple H and Shawn, Kevin, became part of the clique, and he went from he basically became a made person after that.
A lot of people don't know that Conan was actually Max Moon.
He was supposed to be.
Bob, yeah.
Supposed to be, but he looked at it and he went, hell no.
I mean, come on now. The best gimmick ever is Shockmaster. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's Santino Marella, and then there's.
But Santino knows how to actually wrestle and fight.
That is true. I will say this. When he came close to being Daniel Bryan at that Elimination Chamber, I was one of the many fans that thought, oh, shit, we're going to see a new world champion. Oh, my God. 1, 2, no. And then just immediately into the lapel lock, like, well, there's the finish.
I popped when it was him and Alberto Del Rio at the 40-man Royal Rumble.
Me too. Oh, my, I remember that.
I got nothing against Del Rio from that point in time. I thought that he had a really good character. He had like an MJF character before MJF.
He just kept saying perro a lot, and then he also talked about destiny. It's my destiny. It's like, make a shirt out of it, dude. Just wear it.
You know,
I'd have got a shirt that said Destiny.
You know what, Kayla? Since you know what you should do, but whenever MJF becomes a free agent, if he does in 2024, you should sign him to MCW.
That'd be kind of fun.
He's gonna ask for like buttloads of money. MJF,
Maxwell Jacob Friedman,
the douchebag. Well, good to know there's no financial woes in MCW.
good luck getting him to come work with us now. He just got called a douchebag by Nate the effing Great.
I don't care. The dude's a douchebag anyway, and he'll admit it.
What kind of cookie you got?
By the way, there
It's a
should be a
brownie. Oh,
challenge.
I'm jealous. This thing's gross.
There should be a challenge on MCW.
It's not even no good. What about
You guys should
MCW?
recreate. You guys should recreate when they had the Yokozuna Slam. They should recreate the whole. Everybody tries to slam Nate the effing Great.
I'd get it.
Be the pawn.
That would be like the Big John. No, is it the Big John Studd one? Yeah, where Big John Studd did that. I mean, I'd be cool with bringing that back. I don't know if I'm gonna have like $50,000, but
I could actually.
I'd be cool trying to slam you.
I could actually.
My
I could actually.
recharge strength.
I could actually see Kayla, I could see Kayla try to grab one leg, Courtney's trying to grab the other, and trying to slam him.
Oh, for sure. If she was there, we'd get you. You wouldn't know what to happen.
that's the new trend: 2 girls, 1 slam.
Better than 2 girls, 1 cup?
Yes,
But,
definitely better.
Yeah.
It's this
Let's have a party.
generation.
Let's have a party. It's a little cup.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
get-
I love how we were trying to stay on topic and we just went off the rails so much as soon as we went into cookies.
Well,
Because we're all fat kids, too.
speaking of cookies, what is y'all's favorite cookies?
Ooh.
Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle. Who
I
got?
like M&Ms in my cookies.
Chocolate chip.
double chocolate chip. That's
That's
Actually,
diabetes,
chocolate
Nate.
double
That's what that is.
I know
That's
that is diabetes. I don't care.
I'm an Oreo guy, so
Oreo boy.
Those aren't cookies. Those are a sandwich.
ah,
Mhm.
okay, chocolate chip cookies. Then I like that.
There you go.
Not
Technicalities.
this cookie. I don't like mint cookies.
You seem like the kind of person, Valor, that would say the same thing about like the deep dish pizza that's in Chicago. It's like, that's not deep dish pizza, that's soup, or something like that.
No, I love Chicago deep dish pizza.
Thank you. And people there, I've had so many people. I even went to New York, and people are like, "Chicago doesn't have deep dish." It's like, yes, they do. I don't care what you say. I've had it. It's delicious.
Chicago. That is what Chicago is famous for. Is deep dish pizza.
Hey, you guys have
Actually, they're more famous for their hot dogs.
you guys have good hot dogs too.
That we do.
No, I'd rather just have barbecue sauce on my hot dog or have a brat.
That's from Wisconsin. Come on.
In New England, they have a place that sells like wieners.
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Mel? You live close to me. You know what a fucking New
Say
England
this one
wiener
more
is?
time.
All I heard
I mean,
was
they have all sorts of
They-
stores around
it's
here
a
that
hot
sell
All
that.
dog.
I heard was something about dick. What?
No, I heard.
It
wieners.
wasn't a dick.
You know all about the wieners that they sell. They sell long ones, short ones, big ones, small ones, all the kind
But-
of shit.
It's in New England and Rhode Island at least. I don't know about New Jersey, but it was just a hot dog with like some meat sauce and some onions on it, but it was really fire. And they called it wieners, and all the kids loved it because it was wieners. Like, yeah, Mom, I want 3 wieners.
No, I see where I come from. It's called steaks,
Ah,
cheesesteaks, Philly cheesesteaks.
yeah.
And those are the shit.
No, this was definitely a hot dog.
I'd rather have an Italian. I'd rather have an
Now,
Italian
It was
beef.
like a steamed hot dog on a
Right.
steamed bun with some fucking meat.
Every
sauce.
state has its food of choice,
I will say this.
and
yeah.
I personally prefer scrapple and Canadian bacon,
Ah.
which
That's
is
ham.
which is
Ham.
seriously shut the fuck up. A New Jersey staple.
You're the staple guy.
Okay.
Kev, this is your champion. Just know this.
Now,
But
go ahead.
I no, when it comes down to hot dogs, I don't. There's different places where you can get them from, but no.
Get
You
your
know
hot dogs here.
what? Yes, I mean if you go to a baseball game, yeah, they sell them
Bologna
there.
rolls.
But
So
every place has their own staple.
And then you have Courtney Peterson in the comments saying she'll be covered in mayo and chicken feathers.
It puts the mayo on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Now Nate might actually like this, but every time that her dad comes back from visiting his family in Wisconsin, we always get those sausage and cheese.
Have you guys ever had?
All the time, so.
Have you? Okay, for the Wisconsin, whatever fans, sausage. What is it called? Brats and
Right.
no beer and brats. Beer
Beer
brats.
Beer brats.
Beer brats.
Beer brats.
That is the shit.
That is
If
the
you
shit.
soak them in beer,
Mhm.
Yeah, I got to be careful with that.
boil them in
no,
beer.
no.
No, you get that brown
My
on 'em.
aunt used to do that all the time back in the day. She would actually boil a pot, boil a pot of
You told me.
beer. What? Boil some brats or whatever and put beer in it. About a 6-pack of beer in it. And they tasted phenomenal.
Yeah, you can get that brown fucking flavor going around it.
Yeah.
It's all
And then
bubbly
you
and
build
beautiful.
You put them back in the beer batter. Oh my God, it's so good.
Beer battered brats.
Oh God,
Bad,
yes.
bad.
So, when are we doing this raffle-y thingy thing?
Raffle?
I don't
Is there
know.
prizes?
Or take
What?
a name out of a hat, or
Oh, we're getting there.
who's
We're getting there.
facing your champion, man?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Holy shit! Sorry, hold on. Sorry. Looking at, just got a text from CNN. Other than it says PK Valor is a fucking bomb.
CNN,
Kelly
I'm
just-
sorry. They're going down
I
the drain quick.
Yeah, but they also gave something else that was actually a little bit more useful than PK Valor's the badass. R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for federal racketeering and sex trafficking.
Oh gosh.
Good for him.
Serves it right. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. I believe he can fly.
He's gonna be now we're gonna talk about this here. This is for oh my god, Courtney Peterson saying sausage wallet. But
Sausage.
so what is going to be? We've seen
Superstar, and I call those vagina.
we've seen videos of y'all of everybody, most of y'all wrestling. But what is going to be Nate the effing Greats? What is when he debuts for MCW? What is going to be Nate the effing Greats attire? What is going to set Nate away from everybody else?
You're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm not gonna be one that spoils it because then you'll know what to expect, and if it's not that, then you'll be disappointed. So you'll just have to wait and see.
So it won't be.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Don't be trying to get our goods.
Don't be trying to get our wieners.
Only in New England.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'm sorry, New England wieners. I'm sorry.
Need that meat sauce on.
Jesus.
I have to tell y'all.
Meat sauce is amazing.
I gotta tell y'all one little joke about Nashville. You're gonna find this funny.
Ah,
There is a street. There's two streets downtown Nashville. There is a thing called Church Street that has nothing but gay bars.
Wait. A church street and a gay street, and both intersect. On Gay Street, there are churches, and on Church Street, there are gay bars. Shit, you not.
Yeah, I believe.
Church
I believe
Street
that.
and Gay Street, they both intersect. On Church Street, there are gay bars.
I guarantee
On
you, somebody's
Gay
gonna try and
Street,
take
there
that
are
down.
churches.
Somebody's gonna try and take
It's
that
an
down.
oxymoron.
It is an oxymoron. Somebody's gonna be offended because they're so
Yep.
salty.
So what's a well, since we are talking about food, Nick, and I'm off the topic now.
No idea.
Well, I mean, it keeps scrolling down at the bottom where we're talking about wrestling's past and future. So we were doing that, and then we just decided to talk about wieners for some reason. They boiled into brats.
It's all your fault, Courtney.
It all began with mayo.
Don't.
It began with mayo.
It just snowballed from there. Jeez Louise.
Okay. Just the just a quick note, though, we can always do this for a part 2 for some of y'all who want to know more about the wrestling part. It started this morning about mayo.
Oh my gosh.
It went from mayo.
You know what? Just let it go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All you need to know is
Big
Courtney
Kev
eating
Fart
mayo.
World.
That's right.
Let the mayo go.
That's right. It started with Kevin talking about farts and then evolved into Courtney talking about mayo.
He talks about farting and shitting all the time. I mean, this is like
I was just Homer.
We just.
Well, speaking of which,
You guys are all frozen.
I'm not.
You know. Oh no, wait, no, I'm frozen. Oh, I'm frozen
she's
like
frozen.
Courtney
She's
was.
frozen.
She's frozen.
Just like
You just don't have the
What
angry
actual
face.
fuck?
You just don't have the angry face like Courtney did.
I know, it's the exact same one.
What you got to do is just take yourself out and then bring yourself back.
No,
Okay,
I'm
there
not.
you go. You got it. So, FWE's Danger Zone episode 4 is coming out next week. We're going to be in Rockford, Illinois. PK Bauer's a very fighting champion. He's been defending the belt here lately.
Yes, I
I
am.
know he's got the pay-per-view, got Monster Bash, which I know Nate likes the name Monster Bash
I like
as
it.
well. So we know it's going to be Jay, Xavier Michaels, and PK, and another guy in the triple threat. But PK wanted me to talk to the board of directors about who can he fight at the episode.
So who's he fighting?
May I see the phone?
Oh,
Second.
well, shit. Hold on a
Um,
minute. Okay. Go
I
ahead.
think
Hold on. Let me bring it up.
No, according to the board of directors.
Where am I going?
I'm just reading it off.
Okay.
According to the board of directors, established here that PK Bauer, it came down to two people. It was either going to be Nate the effing Great or Queen Madness facing you at the Danger Zone episode.
Okay.
The powers to be have decided, not me on the other hand, has decided to allow, for the first time ever in history, Queen of Madness will not only get a women's title shot at the pay-per-view with Mel and Courtney, but she gets one with you, one-on-one, at Danger Zone.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
You don't get a title shot yet, bitch. That's what.
Wait.
Not you, the other bitch.
I'm back.
You're getting a Danger Zone.
You're getting
I
a
get
title.
it?
You're
Yeah.
getting the world title shot against PK Valor at Danger Zone.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but why? Why is she the one that's getting a title shot when I have literally not been beaten? She's been pinned at least twice in over the last few weeks, and I have not been beaten once. PK Valor got lucky in the Rumble because that was my win, and I would have had him beaten, no problem. And I will get to you in just a minute, Kayla. Kevin, you need to find a way to make up for this.
Thing?
The fact of the matter is that I should be the one that is battling PK Valor and not the two-time loser that was the Queen of Madness. And Kayla, with all due respect, I am going to ensure that you do not make it to that show. You will not know when, you will not know how, but I am going to get you when you least expect it because this is my show. This is my time to shine. And I'm not going to be going back to some company who does not appreciate me when I thought that this was going to be a place that's different. But no, I ended up getting screwed again. So you know something? I can't do this.
Wow. So
you're gonna hire me some backup, right?
yes,
He's trying to make sure I'm not gonna make it to the damn show. Kayla always makes it to the fucking show. I need some backup.
So we're gonna have some. If you remember Mike Drain, he'll be one of the bodyguards. Because he lives in Rockford, he's gonna be there for you. This is a big opportunity for you. You know, it's something that we've never done in FWB. We've never had a woman versus a man. I know that PK is a fighting champion. PK's not going to turn it down, and you're going to have to bring your A
forward
game.
to that match.
Oh, you better. That champion is mine. And you might as well tell Nate too, because he kind of fucking got off here in a little pissy ass attitude.
But you also at the pay-per-view have a women's title match in a triple threat with not only with the same Courtney Peterson.
Ooh. And Mel, huh? I'm looking forward to that one. But PK, I'm coming for you first.
Yeah, you'll have better luck getting that women's belt.
You don't know me.
Guarantee you on that one.
All right, guys. I am super excited for this match. I'm sure we'll be fucking.
I am too.
When are we filming this? When are we doing this match? Next week?
Next week. We'll be
right.
live in Rockford, Illinois next week.
I'll be ready. You guys have a good day.
Come on, baby.
Looks like it's time to start hitting the gym.
Oh, you know it. Been doing that. So you better hit the gym. Bye, guys.